The foundation of our Indianapolis Colts is shaking right now, and if you are not paying attention, you are going to miss the explosion. We are talking about internal friction, trade demands, and a potential roster overhaul that could change this franchise for the next decade. Sources are buzzing, and the noise coming from inside the building is deafening. Before we break down every single angle of this chaos, I need you to step up for the horseshoe. We are pushing hard for 1,000 subscribers, and your support is the fuel that keeps this coverage alive. Hit that button, buckle up, and listen closely.
Let's get straight to the uncomfortable truth. When the father of your franchise quarterback starts speaking out publicly about needing a new beginning, you do not just have a distraction, you have a full-blown crisis. Anthony Richardson Sr. has reportedly suggested that his son needs a fresh start following a disappointing stretch in Indianapolis. This is not just a casual comment at a family barbecue. This is a strategic signal sent directly to the front office. From an insider perspective, this indicates a significant fracture in trust between the camp and the team. We have seen Richardson struggle with consistency and injuries, but for his camp to already be looking at the exit door is absolutely alarming. It suggests they believe the coaching staff or the system is failing him, not the other way around. Now, let me switch gears and tell you how I really feel about this. This is ridiculous. You are a professional athlete in the National Football League. You do not run from the grind, you embrace it. The Colts spent a top 5 pick on you. They handed you the keys to the kingdom. And the moment things get tough, we are talking about a fresh start? Are you kidding me? This is the kind of softness that destroys locker rooms. If I am Chris Ballard or Shane Steichen, I am looking at this situation with absolute fury. You cannot build a championship culture when the people closest to your quarterback are already packing his bags. It undermines the authority of the coaches, and it puts doubt in the minds of every veteran in that locker room who is busting their tail to win games. This is a pivotal moment for the organization. They have to decide if this is just noise or if the relationship is irretrievably broken. If you think this is just about hurt feelings, you are dead wrong. This sentiment has opened the floodgates for speculation, and suddenly the idea of moving on from Richardson is shifting from impossible to plausible. And that brings us to the whispers that are starting to get very loud regarding exactly where he could go.
We are diving deep into the trade machine next, and trust me, the names on the table will shock you. If you want to stay ahead of every rumor and roster move, make sure you subscribe right now. Do not miss a beat.
Because of that tension we just discussed, the trade market is suddenly heating up with speculation that would have seemed insane just 3 months ago. Analysts are now outlining 3 very realistic trade scenarios for Anthony Richardson, operating under the assumption that the Colts might actually pull the trigger this offseason. The logic here is simple. If the player wants out, or if the team fears he is a bust, you maximize value now before it hits rock bottom. Scenario 1 involves shipping him to a team desperate for a reboot, likely in the NFC, for a package of second-day picks to recoup capital. Scenario 2 sees a swap for a veteran bridge quarterback to stabilize the room immediately. Scenario 3 is the blockbuster, moving up or down in the draft, using Richardson as the primary asset. This is not just fan fiction. This is front office risk management. If Indianapolis believes the development curve has flatlined, they have to listen to calls. But let me be clear, trading him now is admitting a colossal failure. It is admitting you wasted a premium asset on a project you did not have the patience to finish. However, sometimes you have to cut your losses. Look at the history of the league. Holding on to a quarterback who has lost confidence and has a toxicity brewing around him is a death sentence for a GM's career. The Colts are at a crossroads where they must evaluate if the physical talent outweighs the baggage. If they trade him, they are hitting the reset button hard. But if they keep him, they risk a toxic standoff that ruins the entire season. The tension is palpable, and the phone lines at West 56th Street are likely burning up. This isn't just about getting rid of a player. It is about saving the franchise's direction. Yet, if Richardson leaves, who steps in? That is the million-dollar question, and there is one name floating around that has analysts screaming a warning so loud it might shatter windows at the Lucas Oil Stadium.
The domino effect of a potential quarterback vacancy has led to some terrifying suggestions, and one of them involves Daniel Jones. An ESPN analyst has issued a severe warning to the Indianapolis Colts regarding the former Giants quarterback, urging the front office to exercise extreme caution. The buzz suggests Jones could be viewed as a reclamation project or a bridge option if the Colts move on from their current situation. The data, however, screams otherwise. Jones has struggled with turnovers, injury history, and an inability to elevate the talent around him consistently. The insider perspective here is that some scouts still see the physical traits and think a change of scenery could unlock him, much like what we saw with other veterans. But let's bring some reality into this conversation. Bringing in Daniel Jones to solve your quarterback issues is like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. It makes absolutely no sense. We are talking about a franchise that prides itself on high standards. You do not replace uncertainty with proven mediocrity. The warning from ESPN is spot on because Jones has shown us exactly who he is over multiple seasons. He is not the answer for a team trying to compete in the AFC South. If Chris Ballard makes a move like this, it signals desperation, not strategy. It tells the fan base that we are settling for whatever is left in the bargain bin. The fit with Shane Steichen's offense is questionable at best. Steichen needs a decision maker who can protect the football and hit the deep shots, two things Jones has historically failed to do with consistency. This rumor alone should send shivers down the spine of every Colts fan. It represents a lack of vision. We need a leader, not a stopgap who has already failed in a major market. The fact that this is even being discussed shows how volatile the quarterback room has become. But while the offense is in turmoil, the defense is screaming for help. And finally, there is a glimmer of hope on the horizon that could change the game.
While the quarterback situation is a chaotic storm, the defensive front might be on the verge of a massive upgrade. Market speculation has identified the Indianapolis Colts as the ideal landing spot for a two-time Pro Bowl edge rusher who is set to hit the market. We know the Colts have been starving for consistent pressure off the edge. We have seen flashes, but we have not seen that dominant force who can wreck a game single-handedly since the glory days of Robert Mathis. This potential signing is not just about stats, it is about changing the identity of the defense. Sources indicate that the cap space is there and the need is glaring. This veteran brings experience, leadership, and a track record of double-digit sacks. From a roster construction standpoint, this is the perfect marriage. You pair a proven disruptor with the young interior talent we have, and suddenly you have a top-tier defensive line. Now this is the kind of aggressive move I want to see. You cannot win in this league if you cannot make the opposing quarterback uncomfortable. We have been watching quarterbacks sit back in the pocket, make a sandwich, and then throw a touchdown against us for too long. Bringing in a two-time Pro Bowler sends a message that the defense is ready to carry this team while the offense figures out its mess. It takes the pressure off the secondary, and it gives the fans something to actually cheer about. This is a move that says we are trying to win now, not just develop for the future. It is a necessary injection of talent and attitude. If the Colts let this opportunity slip through their fingers, it is malpractice. We need a close-around defense. We need a guy who demands a double team. This potential acquisition is the only thing keeping my blood pressure in check right now. It connects back to everything, because if you have a dominant defense, you can survive the quarterback drama. But if you fail here, the whole house of cards collapses.
This is officially a defining moment for our Indianapolis Colts. We are staring at a potential divorce with a franchise quarterback, the terrifying possibility of a desperate replacement, and the chance to salvage the season with a blockbuster defensive signing. The decisions made in the next few weeks will dictate the next 5 years of this organization. I need to hear from you immediately. Do you trade Anthony Richardson and start over? Or do you ignore the noise and ride it out? And do not get me started on Daniel Jones. Let me know if you would even watch the games if that happens. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We are in this together, Colts Nation. Stay tuned.